Okay.
Yeah, I had to trying to get everything where it looks kind of decent from you. See, there you are, and we're hiding you there and everywhere else. But all right, we're going to go with this shot for the rest of the show. Now I'm tired of hitting buttons, really. All right, Hunter, back to
Oh
where
yeah.
back to Tampa's where we was trying to get to. You've got them in first. New Orleans fighting for second, third with Atlanta. Carolina dead last. Zach had them over under at 3.
I would probably say Teddy Bridgewater's addition makes them more at 4 or 5. So if you're setting my over under at 3, I'm going to take the over. I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5. But if it over under is set at 5, I would probably lean more towards 4. It would just depend. I know how they will be within the division. I think they'll possibly get swept by the Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It just depends on how good Atlanta's going to be if they can split.
Zach,
Don't disagree completely with that. I'm just
how
thinking.
about this from local standpoint? If Cam gets cut, the Charlotte has lost Cam Newton and Kimball Walker within a year and didn't get a single thing for either. Zach, what do you think about that?
I think the one thing about Cam, if you would have asked me, just a couple years ago, if Cam's going to walk, not on his own, we got nothing for him. That surprised me. Would surprise me. I'm really surprised that we're not even, at least getting a late round pick. If they can give a 4th round pick for Nick Foles, but he has won a Super Bowl. Cam hasn't, but we should be able to at least get a pick for Cam. We just hurt our draft picks, our draft capital with him, so he's probably going to get cut, and then he's going to go somewhere else. So, good luck to him. I hope he goes to the Redskins.
Hold on, Hunter. I'm pulling your audio back up to make sure.
Because you know what? I like Ron Rivera. Yes, we did.
Well, most people have said that. Zach, I almost everybody that's dealt with the Panthers in the past few years, everyone has nice things to say about Rivera. But
He didn't get the job done.
He only had 3 winning seasons in 9 years. And we don't a lot of times it's just weird to me how some people, and I guess it's the media, and if you're nice to everybody and to the community, no matter how bad you do, they're not gonna the shot. Hunter, what do you think about this? I mean, you live here, but you're not necessarily a Panthers or Hornets fans, but the media like deifies / almost wants to befriend the players more than the local players and teams more than they actually want to be critical of them at all. And then the fans in Charlotte, if anyone's critical of the team of the teams, just get all over whoever the announcer or reporter is. And I just wondering, as far as media goes, what do you think about that?
I understand showing favoritism for the home team. You're getting paid to cover them. But at the same time, in media, you kind of you got to have a neutral ground. And I can understand how you have these ties to these players like Cam Newton. Obviously, he was one of the first superstars to come in and really put Charlotte on the map in recent years outside, and same with Kimball Walker as well. But you have to think about it from this standpoint. Do you really want, and I've heard Colin Cowherd say this a couple of times, he says, do you want the player to succeed and get his millions, or do you want the team as a whole to win and get championships? And if you can figure that out, which one you root for more, is it just the players or is it the success of the team, then you'll be able to differentiate whether or not moving off of a Cam or a Kimball Walker is really necessary for championships.
Right.
Go ahead, Zach. Yeah.
I'm just saying, Cam getting out of here, it's coming. Kimba, the Hornets with losing Kimba, they could have done something a little different than that, just letting him go to the Celtics. We're kind of stuck in limbo here because our Hornets are horrible and our Panthers could possibly be horrible. We just have to wait and see. This is going to be a long process trying to rebuild this team. They've given the coach a long contract, big contract, and they're obviously not afraid to make the moves because they've let, Kevin mentioned it, everybody off that was under contract. I mean, they're gone.
I was trying to pull up this video of something about Matt Rule and the Panthers, but just reading through some tweets. When Panthers fans say they lost, they don't like how it was handled.
I've seen that as well.
Is that the team capitalized on the drama before giving his walking papers. Go ahead.
See, I saw as well is, Matt Rule at the draft combine and coming in and him being introduced was basically feeding the fans what they wanted to hear. That they feel like they've been lied to because he essentially said he can't wait to come in and work with Cam Newton. And they got everybody's hopes up.
I think the fans, and if you've watched our show the past few months, I have been 100% consistent with the fact that they were going to get rid of him.
Yep.
Based on all the words that they were or weren't saying. They weren't saying he's our quarterback. They weren't saying he's the starter. I don't know. Why are we talking about this, guys? He's the MVP. That's not what they weren't saying. What they weren't saying, they kept talking about his health. We don't know if he's healthy. We don't know what he can do, where he's at. It was always, I would love to coach him. It would be nice to coach him, but none of it ever, Hunter, again, was, just hey, yeah, well, he's 100% our quarterback. That's what they would say if he was their quarterback, without question. And fans need to realize, and what Zach is saying about now, that they've got Bridgewater and they've lost some a little leverage there. If they came out 6 months ago and said they were trading Cam, but he couldn't pass a physical, they would have no leverage.
Yeah,
because teams would call then and be like, "Hey, we want him," and then the Panthers would have to say he can't pass a physical right now. So now you have no leverage whatsoever, and they keep saying March 18th. So that's tomorrow. That's today, right? That he's supposed to be able to pass the physical. Today was when he was supposed to pass the physical. So we'll see if he takes one for anyone. And what's going on with that?
He's going to about have to, because he's gone from us, so he's going to have to prove that he's worth getting traded for, or even when he comes out, if we cut him, to be able to play.
Well, if you're the Panthers, are you not actively worded it that they gave him, they gave him permission to seek a trade? Well, why, if you're the Panthers, why would you not actively seek a trade for him anyways and not pull a Charlotte Hornets that just let their cornerstone franchise player for so many years walk out for free? Why would you not try and at least capitalize on maybe some sort of compensation in a draft pick, whether it is a second, third, or even a fourth pick? You can still find quality players, but just don't let him walk out the place for free.
Yeah, that's a first-round draft pick 9 years ago, number one. Let him walk out the door. Let him walk out the door.
MVP, and to a lot of people, that still resonates. They always bring it up. He was an MVP. He at least made a Super Bowl. A ton of quarterbacks in the league have never even made a Super Bowl.
He goes to the Redskins. They might actually win that division.
I think the Eagles are too decent enough to. They might be another year where they're 8-8 and win the division, or 9-7 and they win the division.
Yeah, I think that's more of just how bad the team in the NFC East is.
Exactly what it was.
I think that's a testament.
That's exactly why I said that. He could come in and have a 7-9 season and make the playoffs by winning the division.
I mean, how could Dallas? How could you argue Dallas is better? Than last year? Just last year. Period.
You can't. They lost Randall Cobb too.
Right.
He just left.
They've lost Randall Cobb.